Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips and let's talk about Season 2 of NBC's Trial and Error. First, we'll tell you our recap of the show, followed up by a review, and then we'll finish off with telling you if it's worth the watch. Created by Jeff Astrof and Matthew Miller, Trial and Error follows the story of a New York City lawyer and his eccentric local associates in the fictional small town of East Peck, South Carolina, as he represents accused local citizens. So, recap time. The main story of Season 2 revolves around the newest and biggest case that Josh Siegel and associates have taken on. Their new client is the First Lady of East Peck, Lavinia Peck Foster, and she's been charged with the murder of her late husband. With such a high-profile case, true crime podcaster Nina Rudolph arrives in town and hits it off with Josh, causing tension between him and the very pregnant Carol Ann Keene. As the team slowly uncovers the truth behind this case, they begin to realize there's more to this small town than meets the eye. The first season of this true crime show was funny, but it always felt like it was setting up for something bigger. The safe jokes and toned-down world seemed like they were trying to appease the network, with just enough uniqueness to give them a second season. When it was renewed for a second season, the showrunners were allowed to embrace the silliness, and that let this show soar. That is thanks to a multitude of things, starting with the Mel Brooks-style world. The ridiculous antics and policies in this small town create a really unique world for a sitcom, but at the same time, it feels relatable and grounded. The audience tries to feel at home in this town through the eyes of Josh Siegel, a New Yorker who's trying to assimilate to life in East Peck. Between him and the show's running gags like the history lesson interludes and Anne's never-ending list of medical conditions, this is the perfect place to set a sitcom. While a story lasts a season, television survives on its characters, and Trial and Error manages to deliver. Most of the hilarious ensemble from Season 1 return, from Josh's do-gooder nature, Anne's cluelessness, Dwayne's idiocy, and Carol's resolve. But there are a few new additions to the cast. Nina Rudolph is good as the third in the Josh-Carol love triangle, and Judge Cameltoe's high-pitched voice is funny enough. But the biggest addition is that of Kristin Chenoweth's Lavinia. Knowing she is the first lady of this small town makes it a little easier to understand why this place is the way it is. The last piece of the puzzle is the story of this season, and it's just as good as the first. Lavinia's case feels like a mix of Clue and The Jinx, as this mockumentary is filled with mayhem, silliness, and fun, unpredictable twists. The constant on-the-nose alibis, timeline, and evidence, complete with the murder board and the new addition of the baby board, bring enough thrills and absurdity to this murder mystery. The only issue of this season is the introduction of a true crime narrative in the podcast of M-Town. I found that it was a little too serious at times, and it took away from the hilarious absurdities of East Peck. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. This season of Trial and Error is an outrageously silly and genuinely funny true crime mockumentary that doubles down on its absurd world in its second season. While it's lost its biggest star, he was replaced with an equally ridiculous one, proving this series is at its best when it lets all of its silliness come out on full display. From its eccentric small-town world to its quirky cast of characters, this season shows the potential that this show has to become a great, memorable sitcom. So I'm gonna say it's definitely worth the watch. And that's our recap and review of Season 2 of Trial and Error. If you've seen it, what did you think, and was it worth the watch? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and thanks for watching. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest Fanatic 5 video where we discuss the top Adam Driver roles. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.